This ancient book is going to rewrite the history of the origin of humans. Various archaeological discoveries define ancient living, but the discoveries are much more incredible this time. Watch this video to the end with us to know. Matti Parikka, an archaeologist, studied satellite images of Croatia's coastline when he noticed something unusual. He wondered whether it was natural or not. The image depicted a large, shallow area on the seafloor jutting out from the eastern shore of the Korčula island. He decided to investigate further, where he discovered what is believed to be a Neolithic settlement from around 4,500 years ago, built on a small area of land linked to the primary island by a narrow strip. At the moment, he didn't know the same finding elsewhere, that a Neolithic settlement built on an islet connected by a narrow strip of land. It is also claimed that the discovery of the island settlement was unusual, and Neolithic finds were mostly made in caves. The Sleeping Lady was a Neolithic period artistic masterpiece. This is one of the aspects of the Maltese island's prehistoric development that exemplifies the uniqueness and cultural independence found only in this location. The oldest megalithic movable stone structure can be found on the Maltese islands. These intriguing structures, many of which are shaped like female bodies, predate the Egyptian pyramids as well as Stonehenge. The Sleeping Lady, a famous artifact discovered in these ancient sacred sites, is thought to represent the goddess religion practiced on the islands. It is a labyrinth-like structure known as the hypogeum, which is as mysterious as the location where she was discovered. The hypogeum housed the Sleeping Lady of Malta. While some believe that the hypogeum was used as a tomb or to practice the mysteries of the goddess, the Sleeping Lady pose leads many to believe it was a sacred place for the ancient healing art of dream incubation. This was the healing model used in ancient times, where the divine would lead guidance and inspiration while the subject was asleep. An archaeologist from Australia discovered the treasure while inspecting the underside of a 14th century wooden Buddhist sculpture. He discovered a crumpled up piece of paper inside the cranial cavity. After a deep analysis, the unassuming parchment turned out to be a 700-year-old Ming Dynasty banknote, which was one of the earliest printed currencies in China. The banknote and Buddhist sculpture were later auctioned off as part of the Rapi Star collection of important Asian art in Sydney, Australia. They sold for US dollar of $35,806. Though antique Buddhist sculptures are popular treasure troves, this banknote was a one-of-a-kind find. Experts believe that the banknote was placed inside by a patron while commissioning repairs 40 or 50 years after the sculpture was created. The banknote and carving style suggests that the artwork was created during China's Hongwu period, so it's estimated to be around the 14th century. The wood sculpture depicts the head of Luhan, a wise person who surpassed different stages of enlightenment and later reached nirvana. The banknote is over 700 years old and was created during China's Ming Dynasty, which lasted nearly 300 years, from 1368 to 1644. The ornate Bronze Age stone slab was discovered in France in 1900 and later revealed to be Europe's oldest known map. Some researchers examined an early Bronze Age carved slab from St. Belak, 2150 to 1600 BCE. The study also identified it as the oldest known representation of a known territory in Europe, which is a possible marker of the political power of an early Bronze Age principality. The slab was once one of the walls of a stone cist, where a small stone coffin-like box used to hold the dead bodies. In 1900, the slab was relocated to a private museum before being acquired by the Museum of National Antiquities in 1924. Later, experts discovered that the slab contains many elements expected in prehistoric map, such as repeated motifs joined by lines to form a map layout. In addition, an examination of the engraved surface reveals that the topography of the slab was purposely 3D shaped to represent the Odense Valley. At the same time, several lines appear to depict the river network. This research revealed that the territory displayed on the slab appears to correspond to a 30-kilometer by 21-kilometer area along the Odense River's course. The central motif, displayed as a symbol of the enclosure, suggests that the center of territory may have existed within three massive river springs, the Iso, the Odent, and the Ester layer. The St. Belach slab is concurrent with the famous Nebra sky disk discovered in Germany, the oldest and ancient most concrete depiction of the cosmos, and highlights prehistoric society's cartographic knowledge. It also depicts a strong political body that tightly controlled a region in the early Bronze Age. Trying to break may have indicated condemnation. On the other hand, its burial, an iconoclastic act, may have marked the end of the rejection of the elites who exercised their power over society for several centuries during the early Bronze Age. In 2020, a meteorite landed in Africa's Sahara Desert. It was estimated to be around 4.6 billion years old and date back to before the solar system ever existed. It became popularly known as Erchchek 002 after the Algerian site where it was discovered. It was discovered in the Erchchek Sand Sea near Bir-Ben Takol in southern Algeria in May of 2020. The team hypothesized that the astronomical body would have been destroyed or absorbed by planets larger in comparison as they approached the Sun. The EC-002 is an artifact from the protoplanet, a large body of matter in orbit around the Sun or another star known to be present while the planet is developing. It has a coarse texture and a grained and tan appearance. They also have green, yellow-green, and yellow-brown crystals. They are also ingenious because they are formed from magma or molten rock. According to the researchers, the magma that formed this rock was around 1,220 Celsius and took approximately 100,000 years to cool down. Metal detectorists discovered 8 medieval and late medieval treasures in Wales, United Kingdom. These treasures gave anthropologists insights into the lives of wealthy members of medieval Welsh society. The gold and medieval silver treasures date from the 9th to the 17th century AD. The Memento Mori ring, a gold posy ring that resembles the fictional ring from Lord of the Rings, is among the remarkable medieval treasures. Some gold coins were also discovered. But the gold Memento Mori ring dating between 1550 and 1650 AD is one of the most exciting pieces discovered. The gold ring is inlaid with white emerald and engraved with a skull. During this time, Memento Mori rings were popular. The inscription on these rings is, "Remember you must die," a clear reminder that life is short. Archaeologists discovered the rise of Aten, the largest ancient city. The lost golden city, discovered near Luxor, the site of the ancient city of Thebes, was announced by Zahi Hawass, a famous and contentious Egyptian scholar. According to sources, the city was founded between 1391 and 1353 BC during the reign of Amenhotep III. Many of the walls of the rise of Aten have been well preserved. So far, the researchers have discovered a bakery, an administrative district, a residential area, pottery, and other commonplace items. It is the second most significant archaeological find since King Tut's tomb. While looking for a mortuary temple, archaeologists discovered the city near several important ancient Egyptian monuments. The ninth king of the 18th dynasty, Amenhotep, ruled during the second half of the New Kingdom period. His eldest son, the younger Amenhotep, dramatically altered the country's course following his father's death. He rejected all of Egyptian gods except the sun god Aten, changed his name from Amenhotep IV to Akhenaten, which means devoted to Aten, and presided over the rise of the new artistic movement. He and his wife Nefertiti also relocated Egypt's royal seat from Thebes to Akhenaten, now known as Amarnan. Furthermore, the team discovered an inscription dating to 1337 BC and Su'ad Atun, just 1 year before Akhenaten established his capital at Amarna. The newly discovered city provided a rare glimpse into the life of the ancient Egyptians at the height of the empire, as well as shedding light on why the pharaoh and his queen moved to Amarna. The archaeologists also looked for clues to the city's history in hieroglyphic inscriptions on the lids of wine vessels and other containers. For example, one vase containing dried or boiled meat was inscribed with the names of 2 city residents as well as information indicating that Amenhotep and Akhenaten jointly ruled the city at the time it was made. A zigzag wall with a single entry point encloses an administrative and residential area. implying that authorities kept security by restricting movement in and out. The team also discovered a manufacturing facility for mud bricks, which were used to construct temples and other structures. Amenhotep's seal appears on the bricks. One room in the city contains the burial of 2 cows or bulls, unusual discovery that researchers are still looking into. Another strange find was a human burial with the remains of a rope wrapped around the knees. This is indeed a phenomenal discovery. What do you think? Share in the comments below.